Welcome back to my channel at The Movie Optimist, where I try and find the silver linings in even the worst of films. I just got done watching The Long Walk, an adaptation based off of one of Stephen King's earliest novels, and this was a tough watch. Essentially in this movie, the United States goes through this really big war that leaves the world war-torn, and like 95% of the population is in poverty. Everyone's just struggling to make ends meet, everyone's struggling to get by, everyone's trying to put food on the table, and there is a competition made by the government to essentially instill hope in humanity that there is a silver lining at the end of the tunnel. If you join this competition and you win it, you could become a billionaire and all of your struggles will go away. You won't live in poverty anymore, you can take care of your family, you could do essentially whatever you want. The catch is, in this competition, a bunch of people have to join and essentially just walk. You have to walk until you can't walk anymore, and the last person standing is the winner. The catch of that is, if you can't walk anymore and you stop, you're in pain, you're hungry, you try to run away, you get executed. So everyone will die except for one person, and that is the big ask. But everyone being, out for themselves, everyone thinks that they could do it. Everyone thinks they have a good enough reason to make it and that they have enough heart to survive this grueling process, to be the one to win and go home and provide for their family. And at the beginning of the movie, look, when you meet all of these people, they could all die right then and there and you won't care. But the thing this movie does really well is it shows the humanity in everybody. And outside of like the one or two characters that are created for this movie or book that are supposed to be the assholes to make life harder for the rest of the contestants, obviously you're supposed to dislike them and want them to die. But everybody else is super relatable because they're all there for very relatable things. One guy has a wife at home that he just wants to get back to and help give her a better life. Another person has kids that they want to get back to and help take care of them. Another guy has a mom at home where they no longer have, his dad, her husband, and he wants to help take care of his mom. Another person is an orphan and wants to help take care of other orphans, and everyone has these really great reasons for joining and wanting to essentially just help the people that they love. And who doesn't have somebody in your life that if you could give them a better life, you would? Most of the population aren't trillionaires that just live very carefree. Most people work normal 9-to-5s or 7-to-3s or whatever you want to call it. Most people work hard for their money and come home and provide, and if you can make that life easier, wouldn't you take it? It's one of the reasons that this movie is so compelling, because it asks the question, how far would you go to help the people you love? How far would you go to make your life better? How much pain would you put yourself through to reach an end where life will be that much better? What would you put yourself through to live life like a king? And it's a very compelling question that makes the movie in and of itself so compelling. But because we're spending 2 hours with these people and getting to know them, not only are you learning their motive of being there, but you're just getting to see these young adults. I don't want to say kids. I keep wanting to say kids. It's not kids. It's literally people under the age of 30. You got 15-year-olds there, you got 20-year-olds there, you got 25-year-olds there. It's just young adults, and you get to see them bond and become friends and become brothers, and it makes each death so hard to watch because you genuinely care about almost all of them, and you feel so bad when these people are picked off one by one. It's not like you're going this whole movie and then you get to the end and everyone dies. Every 5 minutes, when you think you have a breath of fresh air and you could breathe, somebody else that you genuinely care about dies, and it's horrific. One person breaks their ankle halfway through this walk, and instead of giving up, they keep pushing forward into the point where their bone is sticking out of their leg, and they're literally walking on the stub of their bone that they've worn down on the pavement from walking so long on it. Another person is killed because they've been holding in their bowels for so long that they literally can't anymore, and they stop to pull their pants down to try and shit before they're executed, because essentially you have like 30 seconds to pick up the pace and get back up to the pace you're supposed to be walking at, which is about 3 miles an hour, or they execute you and they'll give you 3 warnings. They'll say warning 1 and then they'll give you 10 seconds, and then they'll say warning 2 and they'll give you 10 seconds, and this kid is trying to shit in 30 seconds and he just can't, and he gets executed. And it's just so sad because the reason why these kids are getting picked off is for things that would definitely affect us. One person is sick, like they get like a fever on the walk and they're trying so hard to push through it, but they're coughing and they're sneezing and they're getting dizzy and they're just trying so hard to push through and just keep going forward, to keep putting one foot in front of the other. And it begs the question, what would I do in that situation? And like I said, every death is so sad and so hard to watch. And maybe it's just the world that we live in right now, with the execution of Charlie Kirk, with the execution of that girl on the train, with the execution of the kids in the school yesterday, with the execution of the kids in the church a couple weeks ago. I'm not political. I'm not trying to bring political ideas into this review. What I'm saying is I'm pro-life, and we live in a world right now where there's so much horrific death and destruction around us that it makes watching something like this really hard. But the thing that elevates this movie to a point where I will say I think it's worth a watch at least once is the true meaning of this movie is more than just kids dying. It's friendship and what it means to find somebody that you can call a brother. It's about how far someone's willing to go to provide for the people they love. And above all else, it's about finding the beauty in life and to stop worrying about the future and just enjoy the now. Enjoy right now. Don't worry about what's going to happen tomorrow. Don't worry about what's going to happen in a week from now. Be appreciative that you're breathing right now. Look at your surroundings. Look at the trees. Look at the grass. Look at the sky. Look at the person next to you that you love. Look at your dog. Look at all the video games you have. Look at all the books you have. Look at the roof over your head. And appreciate the fact that you're even breathing right now. That's the real message of this movie, and it's the humanity of people and finding the beauty in life no matter how bleak it can get. And even though this movie is bleak, yes, and it ends in a way where even though there is a win at the end, it comes at a great sacrifice, and you initially leave the movie feeling really bleak because it is a very dark ending amongst this win. But upon further reflection, as bleak and as depressing as it was, it made me appreciate life around me more, and it made me excited to get home and just be with my dog. And it's just a really hard watch, and it hit me a little too close to home right now. So take that as you will. I thought the movie was amazing. It's definitely one of breathe. I think it's one of the greatest Stephen King adaptations ever done. It's done by Francis Lawrence, who did the Hunger Games films, which is ironic because they're very similar to this, about a bunch of kids going into an arena and battling to the death. A lot of people think that this is copying that. This book actually came out decades before the Hunger Games, so essentially this inspired the Hunger Games. I give this movie a 10 out of 10. Is it the best Stephen King movie ever made? I don't know, but it's up there. It's up there in the top 3. And if you're a fan of Stephen King, don't walk to the theater, run to see it. Just know what you're getting into. And if nothing else, just appreciate what you got right now, because you don't know how long you have it for. Tomorrow's not always guaranteed, and that's kind of what this movie left me realizing. And I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember this movie for a long time. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Have you seen this movie yet? Has my review swayed your opinion on whether or not you want to see it? Let's talk about it in the comments down below. And as always, guys, hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll catch you next time.